Hey everyone! Welcome back to some more Let's Play The Legend of Blacksilver! In the last episode, we prepped for this video, the final one. I will be surprised if for some reason it takes more than another 40 minutes or so for us to get to the end of the game. We have received, or we did receive, a black opal gem from the king and used it to access the last unviewed exhibit in the archives, whereupon we received some crystal tears. There's a dragon statue guarding the entrance of this dungeon, the bottom of which houses Baron Taragus, and thus we need to get into this dungeon, fight through the dungeon, and then apprehend him. Killing him, I believe, is what we should do. But we'll be given a choice at that moment. Anyway, I'm getting a little ahead of ourselves. Let's take a look at our character before we head on in, shall we? How are we doing? It's been about a week since I played. Today is April 5th. We'll be calling this final part. I see we're walking in with tons of crossbows. If it feels a bit like we're playing an FPS of sorts, huh? 3 superb crossbows, 1 fair crossbow, and a black blade. 3 superb plate mails as well. Our stats are all 40 or above. Very nice. Plenty of food, max life elixirs, and enough spells to see us to the end of the game without too much trouble. And good skills in all the ones that we want to continue to use. Or I intend on using in this dungeon. Alright guys, I've got my map of the final dungeon here. I have not seen this in a long time. I don't have a pencil with me, which means if there are mistakes, I'm not going to be able to correct it. But who cares? It'll probably hopefully be another 8 years from now when I play this game again. Hopefully, I will still be alive to play it with you guys when that occurs. Although it'd be kind of weird if I wasn't alive and playing with you guys. All right. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the dungeon. The dungeon is sealed by an enormous statue of an eyeless dragon. Force alone will not move it. How about a rope and pulley? You're not close enough to anything. Of course that wouldn't work. The dragon's tears? You insert the tears in the dragon's empty sockets. You suddenly perceive that the dragon is alive and staring directly at you. He blinks and flies away, leaving the door unguarded. All right, let's do this. I wonder if he always was alive and just acting like he was dead, and we're the only ones who managed to figure out what to do to make him fly away briefly. Speed it up because of course we're going to do that. All right, guys. I forget the name of this dungeon. Oh, something chasm? Something chasm. That's what the dungeon is called. Black something chasm? Anyway, let's begin with the standard stuff. Light spell to start. I believe our glow tip and armor enchants are still in effect, but just in case, we'll try casting them anyway. Alright, that's pretty good. Our weapon is a superb crossbow. We should get up our speak. There was a response. We're letting all the monsters know we're here. Get a second protect going. Get a nimble step going. Alright. Just to be sure that there's nothing directly in front of me. There looks like there... I tried to mark a trap and changed my mind on my map, and now let's begin. I was thinking, viewer, that the next time we play one of these games, I should not use my maps. We talked about this briefly before. I don't know how entertaining it would be to listen to me scribble on a piece of paper. I somehow don't think it would make for a good video to watch. But it would be a lot more challenging. Hey, didn't even get a chance to swing at us. Isn't there a trap right in front of you? Yes, there is. This doesn't lead to anywhere of import, but we'll still go down. We're here to loot this dungeon. Now, when we complete the game, Malebane will be resubmerged again, which I feel is a bit sad in a way. The people here all their lives are gone again. You won't be able to access any of these tougher dungeons if you wanted to explore them a second time. And if everything goes well, this is the one and only time we'll be exploring this dungeon. An assassin. I mean, you guys can see what it... Ooh, you guys can see what it is. Nice. We can one-round it with a spell. Ooh, Thumper. I was about to move in your direction. Note again that our crossbow can be used on enemies if they're right in front of us. If that enemy, as long as we weren't in the castle. An Erp! I was so proud to remember this thing's name. It's a rather unique-looking creature. All these monsters are actually rather unique-looking. Well, I guess not all. The Growler's is a werewolf. Bag of Bones is a skeleton warrior. It's not every day you get attacked by a toad colony. In other games, of course, not in real life. No one gets attacked by toad colonies in real life. Do they? Are there any, like, carnivorous frogs out there? I don't think so. None that would pose a threat to us, at least. There's lots of poisonous ones, depending upon where you live. I thought about importing some of these monsters into my Dungeons and Dragons campaign. None of my family would remember where they're from. Which is great, because it means I can claim, my imagination created them. Instead of someone else's imagination, I suppose. Now, we are going to try to get all the chests, even though there really isn't a reason to do so. We're not going to spend any of the silver coins that we get, because we're ending the game right after this is done. Like, this is a score pod. I haven't seen a score pod in a while. That chest has a coin in it, according to my map. Ooh. Remember, idols are immune to magic. Well, immune to lightning bolts and tongues of flame. I don't think there's enough silver coins in the game to improve all your skills to 100. I think at the end of the day, something will not quite be leveled up. Oh, the trap's already on the map there. Alright, guys, well, what can we... Ooh! What can we talk about while we're out here doing this stuff? So I stopped by the Starcade today, a little earlier. I think I talked about it in an earlier video. It's an actual arcade near me. It brought back all the memories of going to the arcades when I was young, since multiplayer games were generally played there. That's where you fought other people in fighting games, what have you. Or cooperative games, like, you know, like the 4-player Simpsons game, or the X-Men, or my favorite was the Tower of Doom, because I could beat that game with just a single token. Way back when. I think that one's on Steam. Anyway, it has all the problems, though, that arcades do have. I tried the Street Fighter game that was there, but, well, one of the controls was a bit sticky. I couldn't jump up and to the right, and the other control had a busted middle punch button, which is by default the button I tend to use when I'm doing things like sending sonic booms across the map or what have you. I played some pinball. Holy crap! I haven't played the actual pinball game since I was at college. And it was the first college I was at, not the second. So that would put it around 1995. Yeah, holy crap, so long ago. Good God. It was fun playing pinball in particular. They have lots of multiplayer games, like lots of 4-player games are there. But I just went there alone today just to try it out and remind myself what it was like to actually hear and play games in the arcade. The obviously, or maybe not so obviously, have lots of the old arcade games in it. So, one second, where are we? Okay, I see where we are. I want to turn that way anyway, Erp. It's $7 for the first 30 minutes. If you go an hour, it's 10 total. Then 15 and then 20 if you're there for 2 hours. I guess it's like $5 every additional 30 minutes that you're there. That's actually not so bad, all things considered, depending upon how many games you're playing. And they didn't make them all super easy. Like, the difficulty's still a decent difficulty setting for all of them. So it's not like you're going to be bored because they are too easy. Yeah, it was a good time, but I didn't spend too long there. Today was a day which I also needed to get a bunch of stuff done around the house. Bathroom got cleaned, kitchen counters got cleaned. The boxes that my computer parts came in finally got broken down and tossed out. Got the laundry done. I can't fill out my taxes, so I began to try to do some of that today, but I realized I can't actually complete it. I actually have to fill out an extension. There was a mistake on my tax form, my W-2. So you guys may or may not know that I had cancer. And over the span of 2024, I received temporary disability insurance from New Jersey. This is generally going to be listed on your W-2 as third-party sick pay. But it wasn't. New Jersey itself doesn't send me any information about what it paid me because it doesn't tax its own disability, which is weird. New Jersey taxes everything. Every single dollar you get is taxed, but not disability payments, which is nice. I mean, my New Jersey tax form is basically done, but the federal government totally wants to know how much I made there. And because it was lacking there, I reached out to my company, and they reached out to their payroll, and it was a mistake. So they are working on fixing it, but it won't be done in time. Which means, unfortunately, I can't complete the taxes and have to fill out my very first tax extension. I know this is exciting, riveting stuff to talk about. What else has been going on? As you may or may not know, I am going back to work full-time now. I am a contractor who works for the federal government. I'm not a federal employee, but I do work, my company's hired by them to do work. And when the order came down that all the federal employees would go back to work, we were hoping that we could get away with not doing it every day. I work with a group of programmers, and for easily like a decade and more, I've been pushing that, hey, why can't we work from home just in general? Like, this was before COVID had hit. But they frown on that sort of thing. Oops. They really want you to be physically there. Now that I am going back physically there, I'm actually getting less done at work than I do at home because I am constantly being interrupted by all sorts of things. You know, you have the camaraderie of all your other coworkers, so you all chat about real life stuff and so on that's going on, and that distracts you from some of the coding that you're doing. Sometimes people have problems with the code they're writing, and so, you give a hand, help them out, make sure that they... Oh, you know what? I just realized our nibble step's 100. I don't even have to examine anything. We can just walk right over all the traps. Oops, that's going to be a thumper. So the only thing going to work actually does is makes any of the code I'm writing take a longer time to actually get completed. Makes it difficult for me to get testing time, because now I have to be there physically at work. And because everyone else is now back, now more people are fighting for the resources, limited resources that we have, which sucks. And adds a lot more to the ongoing traffic back and forth. But I suppose I get it. I get it. Everyone else has to go physically into work. Thus, we have to too. It just feels, I don't know. It's not like I wasn't doing anything at home. We spent 5 years continuing to write code, do the things that my job wants me to do. We did it very well. Lots of thank yous, lots of I guess it doesn't matter in the end, like thank yous or awards or pieces of paper. But it feels pretty good to know you're appreciating the work that you're doing. At least seems to be of use. I can't really go into details, viewer, without me giving it, like, showing my hand, as it were. And until that information just comes out, I'd rather continue to hide the things I actually do. Erp. The other day, I had gone to... So because I'm going into work, it also means that eating breakfast at home is a bit more tricky for me. It adds... If I want to make the food that I generally like eating at home, which is a bagel, some bacon, and some cheese, and I want to cook the bacon in the oven, which is how I like cooking my bacon, well, that adds about 30 minutes to cook it, and then another, 4 minutes to eat it. But that's time I could spend on the road getting back into work. I'd rather avoid the traffic. And it's very interesting. If I leave the house at 6 o'clock in the morning, or 6:30 in the morning, there's no one on the road. Not really. There's very light traffic. At 7 o'clock... there's a decent amount of traffic, and I'll be delayed getting into work by about 10 minutes. If I leave at 7:30, I might as well not leave the house until 9:30. Since it adds about another 30 minutes for me to go 20 minutes into work. It takes me up to 50 minutes thanks to all the flippin' traffic that's in the way. Oh my goodness. So many people on the road these days. Are we going to get through this entire level without seeing a single creature, by the way? We're almost done with this floor. I think we are. What else is going on, Tim? I'm looking down at the side of me. Oh, something else I miss about work. Working from home. I have some unpainted miniatures near me. So... probably it happens to you too, viewer, but every place I'm aware of has meetings. And for some of these meetings, for the vast majority of the meetings, there is no reason for me to be looking at the people who are speaking, but listening to what is going on. And then giving my opinion if it's asked for. Or, asking a question or injecting with something I'm concerned about, depending upon what we're talking about. But for many, many of the meetings I'm on, there is nothing for me to say whatsoever. I'm just there listening. I'm not even taking notes, although I could, because someone else takes notes. And then emails everybody with the things that we all talked about, and what tasks need to be done. And it's a little annoying. And hold on, this is interesting. Let's see here. We want to take the middle way down to get officially down to the next level, but there are 2 chests. If we take this snaking path, these other 2 holes down will take us to. So we want all the chests today. We'll go down this way. So what I would do here at home is I would just paint miniatures while listening on a meeting. So I can get 2 things done at once. I thought about bringing them into work. A bunch of paints and painting them there. But no, that's going to be frowned upon probably. So no, can't do that. Many of the meetings that we also have now at work involve people or places which are not a part of the actual building or organization I'm working with, but rather others instead. So it's all telemeetings is the way I'll phrase it. All telemeetings, which I can do from home. Well. It's one of those, I think I've mentioned this before too. Don't be upset it's over. Be happy it happened. And I am glad it did happen when it did. If I had not been working from home, I never would have cared for the cats in my backyard the way I did. Because I'm not, like, I can't water my plants this year, not at the length of time they want to be watered, which is another reason why they have to come out. But I never would have seen the cats then, but would have missed them. Never would have gone in then for my CBC to discover I had cancer. Funny how that all works in the end. We'll come back for that box. These really long passages will lead us to 2 treasure chests. Erp! Lots of erps in this place. I guess that makes sense. They're small, so they can fly in and out of the entrance, even though maybe the dragon statue was in the way. Once again, we don't need to examine anymore. Okay, so now back for that box. I remember every box of this dungeon being bad. I don't remember. I think one's a scroll that says, like, you will die here. One is a poison that smells like almonds. And if you don't drink, I think, 5 life elixirs, you die. And I don't remember what the others are, but I don't remember any of them. I don't remember any good boxes. Oh, okay. We are not going to do 2 at once. I love how the music fades when you cast that spell. It's so very good. Come on. Let's get the box now. You find a small vial of fluid. Oh, this is the death vial. It smells faintly of almonds. Drink it? No. I like that it doesn't tell you anything about what would have happened had you done so. That's good DMing right there. That the players agonize over the fact that they didn't earn 2 points of strength. When in truth, it would have killed them. We're not coming back here, viewer. Almost done with 1/3 of the dungeon already. Not that way, though. We're being followed? We are not. I am recording. Okay, good. All the volume levels look like they're also good at the moment. Wow, we don't even need that vial. Down we go. No speaking during the loading. Yeah, I got more terrain to paint for the eventual playing of Warhammer 40k with my brother Dave. He needs to take the rest of his Kroot army that has been sitting here. He hasn't painted a single Kroot in the past, like, 3 months. He's got, like, a 1,000 point army that consists of, I think it's, like, 53 dudes. It's all Kroot, except for, like, 3 Space Wolf models that I'm allowing him to use as part of his army. Because who cares? We're not playing officially, like, there's no tournament stuff, and I just want him to have fun when he plays it. But I have to get on his butt and make him paint more. He spent all the money on paints, too. He has the paints. But I suppose he is rather busy at this time of the year. We'll come back for that chest. You know, it occurs to me now, looking at the maps that I have. I mean, I've transferred them, once again, viewer, like every few years, I redraw all the maps. Which is why sometimes I don't have a trap or a treasure chest written down, because for some reason it didn't make the transfer. But at some point, I went through all of these dungeons and mapped them out in their totality. I don't remember when I had done this. But I was very thorough. I'm really impressed that younger me did something like this. I do tend to be a completionist when it comes to exploring in the game worlds I'm in. I think we talked about the fact that I am like an explorer type of MMO player. That's my favorite thing to do in them, is run around and see how much trouble I can get in. And what places I can crawl into that I'm not allowed to be in. It's a long way off, but there is another treasure chest all the way down here, so we're going to go and get it. We could switch now, by the way, to the Black Blade if we wanted to do a little more damage. But then we lose the option of attacking things at a distance with just our fight. Maybe let's see if you should do that. Let's switch to our Black Blade. We'll just use lightning bolts if something's attacking it. Something is creeping up on us from a distance. Oh, like right here, the sludge heap would have been a very nice thing to actually have a crossbow equipped for. Sorry, looking at the map. What else, Tim? What else can you talk about? I haven't worked on the Dungeons & Dragons campaign now in about a month and a half. Me and my brothers played back in February, and then everyone canceled during March. And then it's kind of very frustrating, viewer, because I don't have a smartphone. I have an old flip phone, and I've done this specifically. Like, it's on purpose I have a flip phone, because I do not want to text. And everyone knows I have a flip phone, so they know it's painful for me to text, and I don't like doing it. But I'm the one who has to try to wrangle all of my players together to get us to play, and it's very frustrating. And they're my brothers. 2 of my 3 players, arguably 3 of my 4 players, are my brothers. One of my brothers always cancels every single time. Every time we play. I've been trying for years to get him to play with us, and he just always cancels. It's not that he doesn't want to hang out, it's that other things pop up with his family, and he just backs out every time. Or he doesn't respond to the emails or texts I send him. But I'm not, I mean, I guess I am these days, but I don't view myself to be like a coordinator to try to get everyone to be at certain places at a certain time. It's a lot of work to track who's going to be where at what day, then reach back out to other brothers like, hey, this time doesn't work for this brother, is this time better? Chris can't be over until this time. Does this work for everybody? We can play this in case we're out 2 people and so on. Yeah, it's a lot of work. And then sometimes I have to get them focused on playing the game. Instead, they talk about real life stuff, which is fine, right? Half the time you're playing Dungeons & Dragons, you're not actually playing Dungeons & Dragons. You're doing all sorts of other things instead. And hold on, we have 2 passages down. They both lead to the same area of the dungeon. Effectively, there's no mini dungeon to worry about. Okay, so then we are going to continue. I mentioned way down viewer because of this. There's a way down right there. All right, so we will skip that one. Oh, Snapjaw. Feels like we're going to be ambushed. There was a little bit of a pause there. I think it's another monster. There's not. Okay. Oh, there was. I like blasting sludge heaves with lightning, so I don't know why. You know what would be a neat idea for a monster? If it couldn't be hurt by weapons. I can only be hurt by spells. That'd be kind of neat for this game. And it would take, like, extra damage from spells. This way, you, like, we're talking, like, twice as much damage. Like, it's what they're really vulnerable to. Where are you going, Tim? We're going this way. Sorry. Looking at the map. Oh, Growler. Hello. I had thought about recording Daggerfall, of all games, the other day. For some reason, I was in the mood to watch some people play the game, and it brought back a feeling of nostalgia from when that game was new. And then I realized right away, why on earth would I do that to myself? Daggerfall. Oh, you know what? I guess we can talk about this. I began talking about things like this over in the Abiotic Factor playlist I'm currently uploading to. But some what other people would consider to be bad takes I have. There are quite a few games that have like a cult following and are very much beloved these days. And I look at them and can't believe people like them still. Like, they weren't that good, I feel, even back then, but they're very much liked these days. One of the ones I have strong feelings about is the Pool of Radiance games. The old gold box TSR Dungeons and Dragon video games, which I feel are awful. They are some of the worst role-playing games I have ever played. Oh, I mean, I get it. I appreciate what they tried to do. They did try to make a Dungeons and Dragon multiplayer role-playing game. It's a awful, uncaring dungeon master hack and slash game. It's miserable. You will die here. I was right about the scroll too. How about that? All these years, I still remember. The leveling, old 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons was bad. It was bad. Oh, man. Now, that said, that's the edition I use, because I house ruled everything just about in that game with a few exceptions. We're going to go back to our crossbow. Back to our blade. Like, elves could only be a certain level for certain classes, and had a bunch of other miscellaneous special abilities that actually didn't work in the Pool of Radiance game, so you nerfed yourself, and they couldn't be resurrected if they died. And the same thing for all the different types of classes. Not every class was even playable. You gained experience points by the amount of money that you found. Like, it wasn't really goal-oriented. It was money-oriented. You would fight groups of orcs at level 1. It would be nail-bitingly close. You'd have a few party members drop dead, potentially. And you get, like, 15 experience points. Then you open a door and find... Uh-oh, I'm lost. Okay, I think I know where I am now. This is a dead end over here? It is, okay. You open a door, walk into, like, a secret treasure room, and everyone levels up. It's insane. Some of what they did. I did like some of what they had done. There were some areas in the lower level areas that were higher level encounters, like the Rope Guild. Is that what it was called? Area of Flan, I think was the name of the city. And there were 4 trolls there, and 2 ogres. And your level 3 dudes were not going to win that fight. So that was something you came back to later. Oh, then again, I guess your level 3 dudes could have one level 3 dude hire a bunch of NPCs, let them try to win the fight for you, and then if they die, loot their corpses and get free stuff. Get all those, what was it, a +3 2-handed swords they all had? Something like that from a long time ago? Good God, how do I remember half of this? I just do. It took a long time for the fights. I swear the AI cheats with the rolls that occur. You get your characters with -3 armor class will have 40 attacks made against them, and like 8 of those attacks will hit, which feels so wrong, and then they die. You took fireballs and lightning bolts on your mages. First off, they were some of the only useful spells that existed in 2nd edition Dungeons & Dragons, but also because you could wipe out whole hordes of enemies, which meant a single battle that you would get nothing from. Like, no experience, no treasure, or anything like that. And that's fine. Those are fine things to have occasionally. But you ran into these things all the time. By the way, there's a way down here. Oh, way up here. Never mind, we're not taking that one. Oh, we do have the crossbow equipped. But you just did it just so the battle ended quicker. Please. It should not take one of these battles against 50 kobolds. And it takes like an hour to go through all of your turns. God, it's just it's such a, I don't know. I did not like it whatsoever. I thought it was a pretty miserable game. And they were all more or less like that. I did not like any of the gold box games I was growing up. But it was a way for me and my brothers to play a game together, where one of us wasn't the dungeon master. We were all together in the group. So we did play it, and I did beat the first one. I got all the way to Tyranthrax, whatever its name was, who was that dragon who immediately charms like 3 people or a person on your squad. Then now you have to fight him. If you have any NPCs, they join him with him automatically as well, which I guess makes sense. That was a really ridiculous battle. I got to the very end of the second one, Curse of the Azure Bonds. Very, very end, but it was a stupid fight. You're fighting basically Zeus. You're fighting a storm giant that Tyranthrax has possessed and throws lightning bolts all over the place. And I remember having to fight like it felt like it was 100 Margoyles, and I think there were some Rishakas in the enemy squadron too. It was stupid. So stupid that fight. I never did beat that one. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Forget it. This is wasting my time. It's one of those games where I refuse to believe the developers actually played it. Anyway, Daggerfall, or Elder Scrolls 2, is another such game that I feel is a really bad game. You make your characters, you can choose different types of backgrounds, none of it matters. You don't get any, there were supposed to be all these like passive effects for different races, none of them were implemented. There was supposed to be like, you can be infected as a werebear or a werewolf, and then you have to kill people to like survive, but it removes all the people from the towns, all the quests were bugged, all the dungeons were made of the same type of modules, so you begin to recognize where the doors would be located, where creature spawns would be located. None of the loot was useful. You could buy a home, but you couldn't really customize it at all. everything was bugged. The quests wouldn't spawn in things you needed. Sometimes you would get a mission critical note that you had a certain time to like solve the puzzle of, but the game wouldn't even inform you. It got put in your inventory. You possessed it. It was crazy how that game. You had this massive world, and all of it was exactly the same. It reminds me of Star Citizen. Every single place you go to is more or less exactly the same. It's boring. So boring. Sorry, viewer. Hold on. We're going down here really quick. We're not done with this floor, but this will lead to a smallish area we want to take a peek in really quick. God, your dungeon exploring before you got recall was just terrible. Because you had to walk back out of the dungeon. Normally I don't mind that. I actually kind of like being forced to walk out of the dungeons. But not in Daggerfall. That was miserable. Because things would also respawn. That was a game series, most of Bethesda's games, from my recollection, like when they took over Fallout. Things level as you level, which meant the mages, and of course the way the magic worked, it was just so dumb. A mage would dump all of their spells, all their close range AoE, high damage, life draining spells at you at the same time once you were in melee range. They'd like cast like 50 spells, for example. Not that many, but you get the idea. All at once. Every single one of them. And just die. God. It was awful. Some negative perks were perfectly fine negative perks for you to take. Others were just miserable. You never wanted to take them. Same thing with the positive perks. Some were just miserable. Some were really useful. It wasn't balanced very well. I'm sure the story must have been good. There must have been a reason why everyone seems to really have to look back at it with fond memories. But for me, that was the first game from Bethesda I ever played. And it was the one that made me think, made me swear I wouldn't play another game from them ever again. And yet I played through New Vegas, which I guess wasn't a Bethesda game. That was someone else who made the game. And I played through Doom 2016, which I would never have purchased, had I known it was a Bethesda game. And we beat that game on my channel. Do we go down the other fake way? I guess we do. I think this is correct. Oh, even I. Yeah, so Daggerfall, skip it. And it's free. You get it for free. But the time you're going to spend playing that game isn't free, viewer. Don't do it. Don't do it. Play something that's actually good. Let's see. What's a really hot take of yours, Tim? Hold on a second. What are we doing here? Where am I? Uh-oh, I'm a bit lost. We're facing north? Where am I? Level 8. There should be a trap right here? Okay, I know where we are. I guess we're going down then. Is that right? No, let's get a few more treasure chests while we're here. Alright, this one's going to be one that I think the vast majority of you will not agree with me on this. Zelda Ocarina of Time was awful. That was a terrible game. All because of two things. The camera, I fought that camera all the time to get it to position correctly. And the Navy was perhaps the most annoying thing ever created in a game. I hated that little fairy by the end of my playing that game. The story that's when the Zelda game started going a little dark, and I did enjoy some of the story. but all the other NPCs, it felt like they could have had better roles than what they had in the end. Like they should have done more. So it was a little disappointing for me. I think, who was the first fairy girl that you met? I felt bad for her in particular. I felt like she had a really tragic story for her. Being one of the priestesses? Guardians? So she basically sacrificed her, is that right? Sacrificed her life, her soul, her spirit to help Link access the final dungeon. I did like the final battle very much. That was amazing against Ganon in that one. Much better than the other ones I had played. Still, I hated so much. It's so much the camera in that game. I've heard they were making, or someone was making on a PC kind of redo of it. There's no way Nintendo's going to allow that to exist. They're going to destroy that the moment it looks like it's going to work. Forget it. It'll be torn down immediately. Nintendo, from what I've heard, is particularly protective of all their IP. What are some other games everyone likes that you do not like? Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium was an amazing setting, a decent story, and a bad game. It felt like it should have been a visual novel, not the type of game it was. Because it read like a visual novel most of the time. It shouldn't have been this walk around, click on things game. The voice acting in that game was all over the place too. Some lines were delivered very well. Others sounded like they were being recorded in a tin box. I absolutely loathed the entire limbric system, speech. The way your own thoughts talk to you in that game. I remember just disabling that. It's like I don't ever want to hear these voice actors speak. Not even for 1 second. God, I hated whoever did that voice. But that's on me. That's not the game. But Kuno? Is that his name? He sounded like someone put him in a room made of metal and told him to deliver his lines. It was pretty bad for him. I disliked the very Scooby-Doo ending for the game in particular. I don't think there's any way... Spoilers. Here we go. I don't think there's any way anyone would have guessed that a psionic, gigantic stick bug that mind-controlled this one gentleman was responsible for him shooting and killing the person that kind of led to the riots. Like, really? I remember looking that up after I had finally beaten the game. Oh, and by the way, viewer, I'm completely lost. Let's see. If I turn here, do we have a treasure chest around that corner? Okay, I know where we are then. If they had made a campaign setting, like a series of books to play for that world, I would have bought them. Even if I never had ran a campaign in it, I would have loved to have read all of it. I liked so many of the ideas that they had there. I just thought the game itself was not very good. Alright, this is our way down. We're taking it. Almost done, viewer. Level 10. So where are we? Okay, I see. There's a box right next to us. I don't think, once again, viewer, this has anything good in it, but we're going to open it. You cannot escape my sparkles of death. The dark sparkles. I call them the dark sparkles. That's good to know the sparkles of death. We can escape them, but barely. It's going to be really tough when we get there. Viewer, we don't need any more money. we are done, I think, collecting money. There are quite a few treasure chests on this floor. We don't really need them, though. Let's go get one more of them. That trap wasn't on the map, but it doesn't matter. Is it just me, viewer, or does this dungeon feel kind of empty? It feels like there's no real monsters. We haven't really been hard put to it. Angle tooth. What was another game, Tim, you can think of that everyone likes and you don't get it? I didn't like Dead Cells very much. Another one that everyone really seems to like, and I can't get it. Like, I get why people like it very much, but it's not a game for me. There's too much pixel pollution, is what I'm gonna call it, on the screen for me to be able to play it effectively. Uh-oh. I am a little lost. Okay, I see where we are. Shh. We'll come back for that chest. We're gonna make a quick detour to grab what I think is a coin? Here? No, gold. I've played a few games that are like it since then, and I've liked every other game like it that I've played, and so I do appreciate the kind of gameplay it introduced, but not the game itself. I did beat the boss in Dead Cells once. I know that there's a whole lot more to see after you do so, and the levels change and monsters get stronger and stuff like that, which looked pretty great, but there's just so much happening on screen at once, I can't tell even where I am half the time on the screen. And I just die. I don't mean to knock the game. Perfectly fine game. Okay, hold on, sorry about this. We have to go, let's go back the other way. But I not like it. Too much happening all at once was basically what it comes down to. I was playing a game I think I talked about briefly called, just left my head. Dark Rising? I don't think that was what it was called. Steam, will you tell me what I played like last month? If I go to games, will you show me? What did I play? Oh no, it doesn't show me what I played recently. Played recently. Here we go. Wasn't that far away. That long ago. No, apparently it was. Darn it! I can't remember what it's called. Oh, that sucks. All right. Well, anyway, I forget even where I was going with this. Now, oh great. Now that I looked at Steam, my mind just went blank. Thanks. Thanks, real world, for doing that to me. All right, let's focus on the game for the last area we're in now. In case you didn't know that Examine shows traps on the ground, this hallway is the punishment hallway for that. Lots of punishment. There's also a second chest around the corner, so we'll grab that one too. You're pretty all in at this point, by the way, for the dungeon. I'm looking at that 40,000 gold we have. And, like, odds are you're not walking out at this point to go and spend it. Like, why would you anyway? If you made it this far and you're out of healing potions and you've been using them, you're not going to make it out to the dungeon if you go back up. You might as well commit to continuing to go down at this point in the game. We're back on level 11. Okay, gotcha. Let's open it. I wait for you. That would be Baron Taragas. Must have put these here a long time ago. Ooh! That was 68 damage, too. Holy crap! These things aren't messing around anymore. Wow! I was complaining, in a way, that we weren't fighting many creatures. Now I'm super glad that we weren't. They are much stronger now. We'll take this, then back up a little bit to get back to the corner that's behind us. And grab an urn that's over here. Man, that thing took us down 300 hit points, just about. I'll have to come up with a list of all the games that everyone really enjoys that I did not really enjoy. Mind Trill. Ooh, alright, we definitely don't want to fight two creatures. How about MMOs, Tim? We've talked about MMOs before, though. Well, it's something to, talk about. Alright, fine, very well. Hold on one second. We're facing east? I'm on level 11? Oh, okay, I see where we are. Okay, let's go down here. This may be a weird take, but World of Warcraft was my least favorite of all the MMOs I've played. But I did play it for the longest, mostly because friends of mine have been playing that game. I've played all sorts of them in my time on this planet. I think I liked Auto Assault in particular the most, given the uniqueness of the avatar in that game and how it played. But I liked... No, I liked WildStar the best. The combat in that game was fantastic. One of the best combat in MMO I played. But only because of how unique the combat was, where you had to avoid where things were going to be attacking. I also liked the class I played. I think it was called the Engineer or something. Had a bunch of robots, and I liked all the buttons I constantly had to press to activate different abilities. A spike. Do we fight you? We'll just annihilate. I guess I'll just name the game and what I like most about it. So, for WildStar, there were several things. I like the story very much for the WildStar series. I'm facing west. Okay. I like the story. I liked the combat in the game very much. I liked the housing in that game very much. The amount of customization you could do there to set up your own little plot of land felt amazing. Then it went free to play, and I disliked everything about the game after that. I liked the Old Republic. I liked the story, the voice acting in that game, and I liked the space combat, which was basically on-rails shooting, like a Star Fox type of game. I liked the crafting in that game also. It was kind of simple, but I still liked it. I guess for World of Warcraft, I like the dungeons. I liked the crafting early in the game, but later on in the game, crafting wasn't as cool as it had been for the first two expansions. I liked the original large player versus player arenas there too. I stopped playing after this first expansion came out, came back for like, I don't even know which one it was. After the Warlords of Draenor, I came back again for a little bit and played some sort of other place that had like moon elves or something in it. Some sort of addicted to magic thing was going on. I don't remember at all. What I'm lost now. Where am I? I don't know where I am. Hold on. I'm facing south and we have a treasure chest. I'm on the final level of the dungeon. Okay. Oh, we're almost done, viewer. We're almost done. Thankfully. Thank God. You don't have to talk anymore about random stuff. I do kind of apologize. Maybe we should have focused on this game here for our final dungeon. Alright, well, this will do it, viewer. Baron Taragas is right around the corner from here. I think we'll skip his final box, and the off chance it's an instant death box. I also don't feel like having my mind ripped from me. Alright, viewer. Once we open this treasure chest, it will be time to do the final bit of the dungeon. I'm going to save a snapshot image here. Also call it Dark Sparkles. A floor hole is hidden under the chest. A dull throb sounds from below. Well, viewer, let's do it. Oh, all right. I was wondering if we'd have to enter a disc. I don't want to speed this up on the off chance we miss something important, so we'll just have to wait for the standard 664 loading times to occur. Thank you, viewer, by the way, for putting up with me and my tangenting and half-completed thoughts talking about various things. I never did write down an outline for any of this. I am not very good at winging it. Maybe I'm better than some, but I'm probably worse than most. Sure wants me to put in a lot of discs. And you are still recording. You find yourself on a cold, damp floor in dark chambers. As your eyes struggle to see, a vision of Cereval appears before you. Surely you can feel the power of the evil that surrounds you, for you're in Taragas' dark chasm. This is your destiny, to destroy Taragas, or be destroyed yourself. This advice would I give. Travel not only in the directions of the compass, north, east, south, and west. Move off between them in a diagonal. This best will fool the sparkles. So here, for the first time in one of these games, we can move diagonally. One last word. Before you take even a single step, make all preparations. After but a single step, you'll have no time. I wish you well. As Cereval's image fades, is replaced by a hideous vision. Welcome to my chambers. I see that we're meeting one final time. You know, your black blade could kill me. But I have little to worry about. Nobody ever escapes the black sparkles of Taragas, Lord of Mailbane. Prepare to die. We have the black blade equipped. We're at max hit points. We don't even need to... I guess we'll use a life elixir. We didn't need to use it, but we'll have it equipped. Once we get going, we can't use any of those commands, I think, over on the left-hand side of the screen. We're just forced to go. I think we're good to go. I can't think of anything else we need to do. Let's speak one last time. Nobody answers us. All right. Let's do it. Those little glowy things are the dark sparkles of death. Our hit points are up above us in the center of the screen. If they touch us, we begin losing life. They continue to move after you, and they will not leave you alone. So you better darn well keep moving. Alright, so it wasn't that, so we didn't want to go that way. This way also feels kind of wrong, but we're taking it. Note again, we lost our ability to do anything else but run. Oh, that's the sparkles can also move diagonally. They move slightly slower than us. Woo! Wasn't even touched, yeah! I love that they just come out of the walls. It's such a nice effect. I wonder what it's like in, if the game had better graphics, I wonder what they would look like. This is pretty terrifying on its own, though, I suppose. Whoa, that was close. God, I hope this is the right way, viewer. There he is! Oh! Tragus cowers before you. You must know I never meant to hurt you. My sparkles were only meant to scare you. Even now, the waters from Thalin are receding. Please believe me. Tragus sobs and snivels on. I seek only your mercy. For what is a great warrior without compassion? Don't strike me down like a dog. Take me back to Thalin for proper justice. My fate is up to you. I don't think he's saying this out of any great remorse that he feels, but rather out of fear. And this is his last ditch attempt now to save his own life. The sparkles, to my knowledge, will kill you if you don't do this part of the game correctly. The dungeon up above kills you if the monsters slaughter you. He wanted you dead. He is not telling the truth, perhaps. But a great warrior would probably spare him. But I'm not feeling like a great warrior today. The decision is made. Your black blade glows. First, Tragus, then his entire chamber vanishes before your eyes. The black blade still tingles in your hands, warm from its mighty surge of magical power. You feel a curious lurch in your stomach as your abused senses tell you that you're moving at a tremendous speed. I think in the past I have spared his life at least once, and many, many years ago, back when I was a teenager, I did spare his life then too. On and off. I beat the game, several times. We'll talk about the difference when we actually get to where we would have seen him had we spared his life. Since he is brought with you in a way. I think we will show up on Thalin. Sorry, I don't want to miss anything, so... Alright! I guess one single spine quiver stands in our way right for the very end. Alright, viewer. So... Well, I was going to stay at the game, but I don't think there's a reason to. Let's just go in. This we can accelerate a little bit. Oh! I don't remember guards out here before. They must have been here. I should not converse, sir. Man, remember when we looted the chests from here a long time ago? I wonder how many of them are back by now. I'm guessing every single chest has been refilled. We always had that option, by the way, to open the chests another time. And over time, chests get refilled with the cash that they once had. But I've always felt like that wasn't really needed. That was a one-time gift to open all the chests. It's not. You can do what you want. But I felt guilty enough taking all the money in there at the first time. I guess I didn't have to take any of the money, but we still have to open the chest because we still need one of those. We still need the original like blue gem. Oh, he has guards here now. This jail cell here is where Baron Taragas will be deposited. You can speak with him, and he talks about how he will eventually destroy all Thalin and stuff like that, given the time. But if you kill him, he's obviously not there. The game, by the way, doesn't judge you for your decision. It doesn't tell you if you did the right or wrong thing. It lets you decide, I suppose, if you did the right or wrong thing. I suppose it gives you another chance to play through the game and see what the difference is, but as you've just seen, that's really the only difference for the end of the game. Alright, let's not delay Tim. You also won't speed this up. I don't want to miss anything he says. I think the apprentice just tells you to go away. He's still super jealous we got apprenticized immediately. Greetings from the wizard Cereval. Dexterity +5. Strength +5. Charisma +5. Endurance +5. And of course, intelligence +5. Taragas is safely imprisoned, though he rants and raves in his cell. He's dead! He's dead! he's not there! The king requests your presence. I guess they didn't expect you to save him. No, he's dead. He's dead. Did they expect you to save him? Will he show up there? I selected kill him from that screen. That's interesting. I don't remember that being a bug either. I think, okay, how about that? Yeah, he's dead, Cereval. Cereval's losing his mind, everyone. Or it's like the Bernstein Bears thing. He comes from a different dimension, where a different parallel universe where we did save his life. And while the other guy's congratulating him for killing the Baron. Look at all the guards stationed out here to watch us walk up and speak with the king. The prince and the princess will be here today. My goodness, is she thick. Let's talk with them. Yep. Ah, like her courtesy. Welcome, Baron Jared Hiltman. Welcome, hero of legends. Songs of your glorious victory will echo through all time. The evil Taragas had nearly destroyed beloved Thalin in his madness, but now the tremors have lessened. The wild birds sing, and a gentle rain cleanses the fair land. Mailbane is gone, sinking once again into the depths of the ocean, leaving only a small tip of rock jutting to the sunlight as a silent memorial. In this court, your deeds will be remembered with shouts of joy and merry songs, for we are the lucky ones to live in this age of valor. No one before has provided this court with such a service, so it is fitting you be rewarded with a title that reflects your special status. I, Durek, by all the power and magic of Thalin, dub thee Counselor Jared Hiltman. My daughter Alia would like to say a few words to the hero of Thalin before the feast and the merriment begin. With your permission. Brave soul, your face has haunted me since we met in that magic dream. I feared I sent you to your doom, for you were so young and untested. Yet here you stand, a proven warrior, a skilled magician, a wise counselor. These gifts you have given to all of Thalin in return for nothing but a single feather. My choice could not have been better. That's basically it, viewer. They're going to bow a bunch more times. The song, I think, will play one entire time more. Then they all bow together. And then that's the end of the game. We'll listen to the music, and then I'll come back at the very end of the music to thank you guys again. And of course, I'm muted. I'm muted right there. Anyway, yeah, so as you just saw, we now have an extra 400 hit points. That's it for our basically stat growth. We didn't get any money for beating it, but we don't really need money. Everything can probably be provided for. We have $40,000 anyway from that singular dungeon run. Didn't really spend any significant amount of spells when we were down there either. I think it was a complete success. We walk out with one of the best weapons in the game that I don't think is able to be broken. And you can continue to explore if you like, but, well, we only have the weaker dungeons for us to adventure through now. Mailbane is back to the singular island atoll that we had seen earlier when we went to the Marthbane tunnels now. And, that's the end of the game. Yeah, so we'll stop here, I guess. Thank you all again very much for watching what you did. I hope it was enjoyable. It was a blast to play through this game again. Holy crap, I can't believe it's been like 7 or 8 years since I played through it. What a fantastic game. I really enjoy these games very much. I think they did a whole lot right. I'm hoping something else like this comes out in the future. I really like these. I've never played any of the other Ultimas, by the way, or any Ultima, except the Ultima Underworld series and Ultima 7. but I've heard the original Ultimas were somewhat similar to this game. Some had three-dimensional dungeons you can go in or a top-down view you could explore. Maybe I'll give one of those a try in the future. In any case, I don't know what we're playing next. I'll have to check my library. I think we're going to play the Spirit Engine 2 and System Shock 2 is thing to channel soonish. I was looking back in my background for all the other games I keep meaning to begin recording. Maybe I'll get around to some of the other things. I'm beginning to babble. Thank you again, everyone, for watching, and I will see you in the next game, whatever that is. Take care, everyone.